Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. I have a really quick critique here that's going to be requested for the cadets who are saluting here, and then another static image. So here we have varying salutes. This one's good, whoever this happens to be, but you can see a little bit of a dip in the wrist. So you want a neutral wrist and not that dip here. Her salute is fine. It looks a little bit cupped, and also, interestingly, her pinky is kind of flying out there. Now, let me talk to you about physical differences. This might be her physical difference, and she will never be able to get her pinky aligned. It'll always there. Instead of looking like this, it'll look like that. Now, let me tell you about my thumb. I went for training at a certain organization many years ago while I was active duty. I have saluted like this with my thumb bent because having my thumb straight is just really, really tiring. Maybe I have a short tendon here or something. Ever since I started junior ROTC in 1979, I have always had my thumb pull back like that, and that's just the way I salute. I've never been able to understand why I can't salute like this with my thumb along the index finger. And for those of you who don't know, our fingers go down to our wrist. The bones go all the way down. They're just articulated here at this knuckle. Articulation means separation. All right, so I haven't been able to salute like this. I've always saluted like this. I can't hold a salute for longer than a few seconds, probably. We're not going to see in this video, but it just starts to get tired right in through here, and I have no idea why. I could guess, but anyway, so that is my physical difference. It's not perfect, but you can't see it, so it's not that big of a deal. You can see her pinky. However, it's really not that big of a deal if it's something that she can't control. Now, what I said before is her knuckles here, at least her first knuckle, is slightly bent, so she has a slight cup there. So if she straightens her hand out, she might be able to fix that. I'm not sure. Now, one thing that you don't want to also do is salute like this. Now, I can bend my fingers back just this little bit, not much at all. There's other people who can salute with a very dished hand, and I don't mean cupped like this. I mean dished in this way. And you don't want to hyperextend your joints either. So you want them nice and neutral throughout the whole, from fingertip to elbow. You want everything nice and neutral. And here we have a salute with same instance, a little bit of a dish. Could angle his hand a little forward here. Our first cadet, his angle looks to be good, although it's kind of flat up against his face. Nice salute here. And since the cadets are overlapped, they're probably having to pull their elbow back a little bit. But what the Air Force and now Space Force and the Army do, when we salute, our elbow is actually in front of the line of our shoulders. Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard has it completely in line with the shoulder line. And then here, the pinky needs to be brought down. The hand needs to be rotated. Here, looks good. Might be a little bit too low. I'm not exactly sure. And then hers looks good, although it looks to be on top of her eyebrow instead of out at the corner there. And then his as well looks to like maybe a little bit of an angle, but really not bad. So then we have this color guard. The color guard image, and everybody should be wearing belts. Guards, awesome job. You have the belts perfectly placed. Well done. That's awesome. Love that. And it looks so good. And I like those belts with the permanently attached buckle. Although if you scratch the buckle on anything, you're out of luck. Belt could be a little bit more centered, the buckle on the buttons there, but excellent job, guards. Really, really nice. Not exactly the correct grip. You want a split like he has right there, and then his actually left guard's grip as well. He has his thumb kind of coming in like this, so it's not meeting and creating that that donut there with the split. So that's the grip that Army needs to have. I hate these harnesses. These are the cheapest pieces of junk on the market. So you're in Florida. Tell me where you are, and on my next travels, I will give you harnesses. All right, let's go from here. Wrong staffs. They need to be. AR 840-10 says they need to be these staffs with the spade finial there. And you probably have maybe the cone finial on there, and they're probably gold because the middle screw joint. Oh, well, see, you have one right there on your. That's the correct staff. Now, see, you have different staffs, and you shouldn't. They should all be exactly the same. These staffs right here, they're for indoor displays for civilian organizations, really, civilian businesses, things like that. Every flag staff needs to look like this in the U.S. military. Every single one, even for static displays. Fringe is mandatory on all of the flags, so your Army flag, your departmental flag here, needs to be fringed. But I love it that you're carrying 3 flags too. That's awesome. And you have them in the correct order. Love that. Now, could you have maybe brought her harness socket up a little bit more? It looks like Army actually is a little bit higher than US. Yeah, maybe a couple of inches. So yeah, hers could have been brought up a little bit more. And then Army's really, hers needs to be lowered. But still, that's not all that bad. So I need to check on family. I'll be right back. All right, back. So the height here is determined by bearer height. I get that. Totally get that. Wouldn't want this harness socket any lower because it just becomes uncomfortable and it looks really poor, actually. And so this is the harness that I highly recommend. I've been using these ever since I was first active duty, honestly, or thereabouts. And notice that the socket frame only has the harness attached at the top. And that creates much better balance. They're just terrible, and they're all cloth, and you can hardly get the staff into the cloth there. They're just junk. They really are. And I honestly, I wish they weren't even sold. Not good. So need to tuck your gloves as well. And so I'm going to get a pair of gloves in just a second. I'll pause this, get a pair of gloves, and I'll show you how to do that. But really, I get this height here. Could have been adjusted a little bit more, but this really shouldn't be because the Army is higher than the U.S. Now, the finials might be the same length, which means then you have not only different staff types, but you have different staff lengths. And again, AR 840-10 will tell you all about the staffs, flag sizes for the staffs, what's authorized. And I could tell you in this video everything you need to know, but you really need to read 840-10. There's really good information in there that is necessary. Okay, so let me go get a pair of gloves and I'll fold them for you. All right, brand new set of gloves, brand new pair. So instead of wearing gloves like this and looking like a pretty princess, which is one of the terms used, this looks bad. Now, for those of you who know, yes, the tomb guards wear their gloves like this, and they'll put tape around, and because they want everything tight, they want everything fitting perfectly, no movement whatsoever, because they can't do anything when they're out on the mat. So here, this really doesn't look all that nice. So what you're going to do is, before you put it on, you're going to take this is the cotton glove that has the little chicken skin, the grippies on it, and they're kind of nice. And you can get, don't get the nylon. The nylon is a drag. It's very slippery, and you'll never hold on to anything. But the grippies are nice, or if you get the completely cotton gloves, both front and back, then you can wet the gloves, although it depends on your location in the US, whether the water will evaporate immediately or not. So it all depends. All right, so what you're going to do is fold the inside, fold the wrist of the glove inside itself, like this, and you fold it down to the thumb. Like this. All right, so there we go. That's not too bad. All right, then you're going to do it one more time. And I'm doing this really, really quickly. So when you put it on, then now you'll see the bulge here of the material and a couple of wrinkles. So you don't want that, definitely. But this is exactly the look that you want, is this nice dressed look that you have for both hands. And that way, when you're reaching out, then it's a nice cuff there, plus the cuff of your of your blouse, the sleeve of your blouse. And then when you're at shoulder, you might have a little bit of skin showing, but not that much. But it definitely won't look like this long white wrist there. But you gotta take some time, obviously more time than I've taken, to fold that. But that's the look that you want that you want to have without the wrinkles. That's for sure. All right, so that's the critique for this set of photos. And then I'll get thanks, Austin, again, appreciate it. I will get to the video next. Thanks. I hope my comments are helpful.